What's up, YouTube? I just want to share something quick with you. I came out for a morning hike, and I went by some seeds. Let me set this camera properly here. And this is masaranduba. It's a hardwood native from most of the ecosystems in Brazil. There are several different species that are called by this name. They're all from the genus Pouteria, and it's the same genus of a fruit called abiu. It's a delicious fruit that exists here in Brazil. But what I wanted to say is it's really important to know the trees, the native trees in your ecosystem. You really want to identify as many species as possible, and to be aware of their use and how they can be of service in your agroforestry system. So this plant, I know it attracts some big birds and monkeys which eat the fruit. So I want to bring these animals to my system because animals are an important part of the ecosystem, and you want to have them around. Having a balanced ecosystem involves not only having a great composition of plants, but also having a great composition of animals. To reach maximum balance in an ideal world, you'd have all the big birds, the big mammals, and the predators. The cats, the predator cats. These are all part of most forest ecosystems in tropical regions, and then in subtropical and temperate regions you also have some species of cats, and in some places you're gonna have bears and other things. So having these animals around is a pretty good sign of wealth in your ecosystem, because the poorer your ecosystem is, the simpler life forms it's able to sustain, and the richer it is, the more complex life forms it's able to sustain. So I really want to take care of my fauna. And like I said, this is a great wood, so I'm gonna harvest some seeds and plant them in my systems. You really should be aware, if you don't have, because I've got a native forest around. They aren't exactly in a healthy state, but I still got most of the species that are natural from this region here, so I can harvest seeds. If you don't have a natural ecosystem around, you can just harvest seeds in the city. I've spent countless hours harvesting seeds in the city, because the important thing is not having the native species, is having species that are adapted to your place. So if you've got exotic species but which are well adapted to your place, we can work with them. We just need species that are gonna do the work. They need to do the work of improving the ecosystem. If a species grows well in your region, it will do the work. Right? That's the thing. If it's a species that doesn't need excessive care, it will do the work. So this is an important thing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and harvest some more of these buddies here. They're sprouting all around the road. I'm gonna show it to you. Check it out. This is a young masaranduba plant. There's another one that's sprouting right from the shell of the fruit. This is actually a fruit that has a bit of pulp, and like I said, there are some varieties there's some species, actually, not varieties. There's some species that are edible, and all of the species are eaten by big birds and monkeys. So like I said, I want to have these animals around, and I actually had seen some when I stopped here to gather these seeds. I saw some jacus, which are these big chicken-like birds. They were hanging around the tree. Oh, here's a bunch of them. I'm gonna give you a side of the tree so that you can get acquainted with it. The species from this genus, the Pouteria genus, they have a very characteristic seed, which is they've got this strip, right? They're usually brown in color, and then they've got this strip right in the middle. It looks like an eye. Can you see it? Yeah, it looks like an eye. Check it out. So this is the classic characteristic of these genus. They have they've got latex. I don't know if you here it is. This is the plant. This is the plant. It also has a characteristic trunk. You know, it's got these furrows in the bark. It's got a very typical bark. But you see, this is what I'm talking about. This individual is it's dying because, you know, the wood is messed up. It probably caught fire at some point in its life, because this place it suffers with fire. And you can see there are all these vines that are working to take it down. You know, vines don't come about for no reason. They have a very specific reason to come about, and they usually take the dying trees. This is another one. This is another one. There you go. It's beautiful. These trees are about 18 meters high or something. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I just wanted to share this thought with you. Collect seeds, people. Wherever you go, collect seeds. You know, people ask me a lot about the muvuca. You know, when we mix seeds together, you know, what should go into what's available. Collect what's available, mainly what's beneficial to you, right? What has a direct use for you, either as wood, as food, or as an organic material production. And these are my first priorities, right? So plants that produce a resource for me, food, wood, or, you know, fibers or whatever, and a medicine, and organic matter. That's the first things. Second would be the plants that produce food for the fauna. This is equally important. But if you by any chance do not plant those species, don't worry, because the fauna will plant them. So this is something you can be certain of. You know, species are going to start showing up in your systems, even though if you didn't plant them. So focus on the species that are of direct use to you and to your system. If you can get other species that are food for the fauna, great. If not, they will come by their own accord, and you can adopt them as they show up in your system. So this is Felipe for the Agroforestry Academy, signing out.